The military. Industrial. Complex.
The main output of the military industry is defense equipment and services. That includes things like fighter jets, missiles, communication systems, armored vehicles, and even cybersecurity and surveillance technology. This output is usually sold to governments and military contractors, not everyday consumers.
Demand.
Demand in the military industry is driven by several powerful factors. At the top of the list are government defense budgets, which increase when a country wants to expand its military capabilities or prepare for future threats. But demand spikes even more dramatically during real-world events, like invasions, wars, or acts of terrorism. For example, Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 directly caused European countries to boost defense spending, including Germany's historic commitment of over 100 billion euros to modernize its armed forces. Other factors include geopolitical tensions, technological innovation, and rising threats like cyber attacks or drone warfare.
Supply.
The supply of military products and services is shaped by a mix of technology, resource costs, labor, regulation, and industry structure. Technology. Modern military equipment relies on cutting-edge innovations. As defense systems become more complex, like stealth drones or AI-powered defense platforms, the ability to supply them depends on how quickly firms can adopt and integrate these technologies. Price and availability of inputs. Key materials such as semiconductors, rare earths, and titanium are critical. If their prices spike or supplies are disrupted, production slows. Skilled labor. The industry needs highly trained personnel like engineers and cybersecurity experts. A shortage can limit how much can be produced. Example, U.S. naval shipbuilding has faced delays due to limited skilled labor and specialized trades. Number of firms. Since this is an oligopoly with few suppliers, overall output capacity is concentrated. If one major firm experiences a disruption, it affects the entire supply chain. Regulation and contracts. Most production is tied to specific government contracts. Unlike consumer industries, firms don't overproduce. They build what's ordered and approved.
Elasticity.
Demand for military products and services is generally considered price inelastic, meaning that changes in price have little effect on the quantity demanded. Why? Because national security is a top priority, and governments are often willing to pay whatever it takes to maintain military readiness, especially during times of conflict or rising global tensions. Even if the costs of producing or acquiring defense systems rise, governments typically continue to buy them. For example, the US has continued to invest in expensive programs like the F-35 fighter jet, despite cost overruns in the tens of billions of dollars. However, there is some conditional elasticity over the long run. During peacetime or economic recessions, some countries may delay or scale back procurement to reduce spending. In developing countries, limited budgets can force governments to be more price sensitive or rely on aid and arms donations. Demand for non-essential upgrades or support services, like training or maintenance contracts, may be more elastic than the demand for core weapons systems. For example, after the 2008 financial crisis, several European countries froze or reduced defense spending, cutting back on modernization plans.
Market structure.
Market structure. The military industry is best described as an oligopoly, dominated by a few big firms like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and BAE Systems. In most cases, there's only one major buyer, the government. Entering the industry is hard due to strict regulations, high R&D costs, and the need for security clearance.
Maintaining power.
Companies in this space maintain power through long-term government contracts, advanced proprietary technology, political lobbying, strong brand trust within military institutions. They also benefit from economies of scale, meaning bigger firms can produce more efficiently and win more contracts.
Regulation.
This industry is heavily regulated. In the US, for example, there's ITAR, the International Traffic in Arms Regulations, which control how military technology is exported. Companies also follow strict rules on classified information, ethics, and safety protocols.
Antitrust.
While rare, there have been antitrust concerns. In 2022, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission blocked Lockheed Martin's planned acquisition of Aerojet Rocketdyne, citing monopoly concerns. Even in national security industries, maintaining competition is vital.
International trade restrictions.
Defense trade is tightly restricted. Some countries, like Iran or North Korea, are under total arms embargoes. Even with allies, exporting weapons usually requires licenses and government approval. This protects national security, but can limit international business growth. I dedicated 6 years to the Colorado Army National Guard as an infantryman. Most of my time was spent as an ammo bearer for a light machine gun. We trekked through swamps, desert, snow, and forests in preparation for future conflicts. I had one deployment to Africa, and it was the most eye-opening journey I've ever been on. I got to work directly with arms and technology that most people only see in movies or video games. I learned a lot about the final products and gained insight into the industry because of that. Well, that's all I have for
The military industrial complex.
Make sure to like and subscribe and smash that bell button if you want any more weird, wacky, or educational videos from myself. Thanks for watching. Bye.